You're watching India Today Global. This is our special broadcast. We'll be bringing you details and coverage from Washington, D.C. on Donald Trump's inauguration that is going to take place on the 20th of January. Now, it was going to be done with a lot of pomp and circumstance. There were performances that were going to take place. It was going to be a massive affair. Donald Trump wanted to beat all records when it came to the turn-up of people who would be there for the oath-taking ceremony. But it's the weather that's played spoil sport. Our correspondent Rohit Sharma reporting from Washington, D.C. on the inclement weather conditions because of which this inauguration ceremony has been moved indoors. First, let's go to the report, then we'll be joined by Rohit Sharma himself.
Now that the President Trump has decided that his inauguration will be indoors, we're right here on the Capitol grounds. I wanted to show you something. Now, these are the screens that usually are put up for people who come in to witness the inauguration. These are the big LCD screens that we see on television. But what you're looking at, the visuals that you're looking at right now are people taking this down. They have been told to take down these screens. Sir, if I may just talk to you for a second. So you've been told to take this down, right?
Now, you're doing too much now, sir. You get me in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, what's the direction like right now? I saw you guys pulling out the cable, so.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. As far as we're concerned, that's it.
And how many screens are usually put up? Do you know?
It varies. It varies. We put up 12 for this one.
12 for this one, and technically, because it's moved indoors, you're not expecting people to show up here, essentially. So no use of the screens.
I don't know. We're just the screen guys.
Yeah,
so
right.
anything else related to the event, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I know for a fact is that the screen probably would come down tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, the screens have come down. It seems like the weather is rather chilly. And Rohit Sharma, with his cup of coffee, morning cup of coffee, joins us from Washington, D.C. Rohit, thank you so much for joining us. It does seem like the weather has played spoil sport for Donald Trump, who had bigger plans, who wanted to make a splash of this second tenure, beginning of the second tenure. But that's not to be. So take us through what's actually going to happen on the 20th of January.
Good morning, Geeta. Thanks for having me. We are T-2 now. Actually, 2 days to go. The weather is very, very, very cold. It's frigid. I mean, it's -5 to -12 degrees Celsius anticipated on Monday. It is going to be snowing about 3 to 5 inches anticipated tomorrow. So yes, things are out of control, and weather has played a spoiled sport, as you said correctly. So they've moved the ceremony indoors now, in the sense that Donald Trump would be going to the famous rotunda that we see on the Capitol. He will be joined by his family, J.D. Vance, former presidents of the United States, and some VVIPs. In total, the number is much, 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 much less than what he would expected. The official count that we were given would be there will be about 700 people who would witness him taking that oath in the rotunda on January 28th. So definitely not something that Donald Trump wanted to do. He, however, has asked his supporters to go to Capital One Arena in Chinatown here in Washington, D.C. That's where his supporters will be, although no clarity has been provided yet as to who gets to get into the arena. So we're awaiting details on that for now. But even that number is only 20,000. So not something that Donald Trump wanted. But what has been commendable is the fact that he's been very calm in this. Usually, Donald Trump would have said so many things on social media, but he has not, and he's taken the statesman kind of a role here to say, look, I have ordered the ceremony to change. I'm doing this for you guys. I don't want police officers freezing. I don't want horses dying. I don't want anything happening to anybody. So this is the best course of action. The other change that will happen is the parade, the famous parade where we see the President of the United States walk down Pennsylvania Avenue from the Capitol Hill to the White House, will also be now done around or inside the Capitol One Arena. Again, a big, big change. Apart from that, we've got 3 more galas to go in the night, which are scheduled as they're indoors. And it will be, concluded, the ceremony will be concluded by the famous DC fireworks. So kind of a letdown for his supporters. But again, some of the people that I spoke to are more excited about what he will do once he takes the office, and are still trying to figure out a way to get to Capital One Arena. Geeta.
Okay. Also, Rohit, you shared details about the schedule and how the entire inauguration ceremony will take place. There were supposed to be performances, then an introduction, then the oath-taking ceremony, and an address, right?
Exactly. So
Does that schedule remain intact, or the
that is
performances are
intact.
okay? Okay.
So the performance will be moved indoors, is what we've been told, at Capital One Arena. So now we will see all the performers go to the Capital One Arena and perform there instead of performing on the Capitol Hill. So all the performers are staying put. They've been directed to go to Capital One Arena. Uh, Apart from that, everything that's scheduled, from morning prayer to President Trump and First Lady going to visit President Biden in the White House, something ceremonial, which we did not see in 2020, by the way, because at that point in time, Donald Trump did not invite President-elect Biden in 2020. So we'll see all of that play out as is, including the images where we will see his cavalcade go from White House to the Capitol. We'll see all of that. In terms of the gathering at the Capitol, which is what everybody's used to seeing, the numbers and peoples and the colors and the supporters, we may not get to see all of that on the Capitol Hill this time around. And it will be a very, very short fraction of people that would eventually be able to witness Donald Trump give his speech at the Capital One Arena.
Okay, but let's just talk about the premier guest list. We do know that a lot of the top-notch tech billionaires are going to be there, and despite all the fight that we've seen between tech giants, between billionaires, supporting Trump, supporting Biden, we're seeing a lot of them come together and rally behind Trump. In fact, many of them have actually donated money for the fundraising for this very inauguration.
Right, and this is the standard practice, Geeta. The fundraising committee and the events are managed by a separate entity, and it's done by donating funds to that committee. So it is. I mean, again, they've raised $200 million. Some big names there. Zuckerberg has donated money. Jeff Bezos has donated money. We've got Apple CEO Tim Cook. He's donated some money. So they have donated money. Again, a very important shift. Usually, all the California progressive and tech bros, as we call them now, they were left-leaning progressives, more aligned with Democrat and their priorities. But this is a major shift. But regardless of that, I mean, we've seen them. Some companies and Koch brothers would donate money to these committee and or inauguration events and such. So yes, they will all be there. The VVIPs I was talking about, the 700 people, including Elon Musk, they would all be at the Capitol. And we were also told that Mukesh and Nita Ambani are also invited, and they are going to be there at the event. Now, I'm not sure if they will be at the Rotunda, but they definitely were on the guest list when we heard last.
Well, I was actually going to come to that. Any other Indian names that you're hearing of?
We heard Sundar Pichai, Nita Ambani, Mukesh Ambani. We've heard some podcasters. I think
Satya Nadella?
I don't want to butcher their name. Not heard his name, but I'm pretty sure he should be there too, if I'm missed out on it. And the one famous podcaster of Indian origin, he's going to be there, and I don't want to butcher his name. But I was told that he's definitely going to be there as well. And some other folks might join. So, like, for example, the local leadership of GOP with Indian Americans who've donated funds to President Trump. I know for a fact that there is a dinner on Sunday where we would see some more Indian Americans show up. Sanjay Jopra from American for Hindus is going to be there. Shobha Vishwanathan is going to be there. Shali Kumar is possibly also going to be joining them. So some local names that we know have been invited to this intimate dinner.
All right. So there is a dinner where we will be seeing Indian representation as well. But let's just talk about the big ticket names that have done the rounds. Interestingly, while we've seen a lot of the appointments and we've been talking about how most of the leadership is going to look at how to contain China, Rohit, in terms of how Donald Trump has shaped his policy even before taking over the presidency, clearly shows that he does not want to hit a very wrong chord with China. He spoke about how the two leaders can do wonders when it comes to peace and stability. Not only did he speak about it, he actually spoke to President Xi Jinping. He invited President Xi Jinping. The Chinese president declined the invitation, and now the Chinese vice president is going to be there. So, is there a shift in the policy because of Elon Musk and his influence on Trump, or are we going to look at a more stern America vis-a-vis Beijing?
Well, so let's take things at face value for now, Geeta, right? I mean, it's a great gesture by the Chinese premier to call up President Trump right before the inauguration. One of the important things they also discussed was the TikTok ban, which has been dominating headlines here in the US. Also, the fact that this is how Donald Trump operates from a position of strength. We've seen him reaching out to, and I don't want to compare North Korea to China, but I mean, if you look at it, he did the same thing.
He did.
You know, he called them up. He said, "I'll go there." He visited them. He did everything. Called him a rocket man, and still was able to do that and come back and say, the guy, he doesn't understand what I'm trying to tell him. So I think this is how Donald Trump operates. He would, obviously, go out there, try to talk to people, show to the American people that he's really interested in doing things. So that's one school of thought. The other one on the Hill, and Marco Rubio, the incoming Secretary of State, cannot get to China because he's banned in China. So he is the nominee of Donald Trump, and I'm pretty sure Donald Trump knew it when he was nominating Marco Rubio, who is the China hawk on the Hill, along with the incoming NSA. So I think this is how Donald Trump operates. He's trying to make sure he's balancing out. And there's no doubt in anybody's mind that China is a threat to the U.S. I mean, they call it, we are in competition with China, but that's just nice words. I don't think people trust China. But if Trump is interested and he wants to, give it a shot, they will let him and they'll allow him to do that. But that's not going to change the equation overnight. I think there is a very important strategic battle with China, and we will see that play out once Rubio takes the helm of the State Department with the incoming NSA.
Also very interesting, which is what we've been reporting since yesterday, is that despite all the speculation on why Prime Minister Modi was not invited, or was he invited or not, so on and so forth, the fact that Dr. Jaishankar is going now does make strategic sense, because the Quad ministerial meeting is going to take place and Marco Rubio will be confirmed the very same day that the inauguration takes place. So the 4 foreign ministers from Quad countries can meet on the 21st of Jan, just a day after Trump takes office.
Yes, they are. In fact, the officers have confirmed that they're going to be meeting on Tuesday. I spoke to somebody at State. They said, yes, the meeting is happening, with the fact that Rubio will get confirmed on Monday. Not a lot of outcomes expected, Geeta, at this point in time. It could be just one of those good photo op opportunities, especially for the 3 leaders to talk to Marco Rubio, introduce themselves again in a different capacity this time around. And I think they will also get a sense and structure of how this relationship go in the next 4 years. Now, remember, every time have had a change in administration, the template has been same, but sometimes the fabric has changed with Quad. It might get a little more transactional. There were talk about, if you look at the last 2-3 meetings, we've had exchange of students and exchange of scholars and, vaccines and all that stuff. But with Trump coming in the office, I think there might be slight change, which is what people are trying to wait and watch to see if he does do that and make it more transactional versus more collaborative. So yes, not a lot of outcomes expected out of it, Geeta, but at least in sense, it's very good, at least for India and India's perspective, to be able to for Jaishankar to be able to attend this inauguration, and then on the very next day meet with a very powerful incoming Secretary of State.
Okay, finally, Rohit, before I let you go, it's going to be long, very cold day for you. What's in plan? Are you actually going to get people to speak with you? Is it very cold? Are they reluctant to really come to the city? How is it? How is the day planned for you? Because I do understand that reporting is going to be an uphill task today and tomorrow.
It is. We still have street closures in place. I mean, there are challenges to get across from one point to the other. But we're expecting people to at least show up. We've been told there are a lot of bars offering Republican-themed drinks. So we'll try to get to some of those people who are not able to go to the inauguration, but still are staying put up in DC. Try to talk to them, try to talk to some of the strategic advisors here. And then, obviously Indian Americans, a lot of Indian Americans are arriving today and tomorrow. So we'd love to talk to them and, get their point of view on how they see the next 4 years under the Trump presidency.
Okay, so what we look forward to is all the color stories that you're going to get for us. Bars provide, serving Trump-themed drinks, souvenirs that are out. There are companies that have put out their products, Coke especially, going and offering that Coke bottle to President Trump as one of the inauguration bottles. So there is a lot that's going to happen revolving around the inauguration, and it'll be great to have all your reports there. We also have two more colleagues who will be joining us later in the day, Anjana Kashyap and Gaurav Sawant. So look forward to reports from all three of you. For now, Rohit Sharma, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global.
Thanks for having me, Geeta. Take care. Bye.